Welcome, everybody. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, man, to the Sports Page Show. Man, I got a special guest sitting right beside me here today. I'm so happy to bring on this person here, music artist, writer, producer, studio engineer, man of many trades, man. This is my son, the one and only Steve the Gifted, man. Thanks for coming on today, man.
Of course, Pops.
Give it a round of applause for this guy, man. I just want to say I'm so proud of this young man, first and foremost. I got a chance to watch him from the very beginning, from birth to here. And, you know, I'm so proud of some of the things he's been involved with. And as an artist, person, you know, all of the above. So I want to welcome you on here today, man. Say thanks for taking time. And we want to chop it up about, you know, some good things, good conversations. And I'm here live on the Sports Page Show. I haven't done too many live interviews. Yeah. You're here in town this week. And, you know, for a big reason, you know, HU, you know what I mean? So our homecoming weekend has been big. You know, it's worldwide, world renowned. You know, everybody know about what Biggie Smalls lines is. I'm not going to go back into too much history, but HU, man, you're a grad. Tell us about what HU, how a homecoming means to you and being an HU graduate and being a Bison, man. Tell us about that experience and how much it means to you and the stage perspective.
Well, first, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad we're doing this. The timing is impeccable, right? Because you hit me about a month ago.
Absolutely.
I was like, yo, I want to do one of these. And I'm like, all right, man, we got to find time on the schedule. And I didn't even know if I was coming. You know what I'm saying? And that was last minute, finding out last week, being able to come up here and then just like, hey, let's just do it in person. It's like, I'm just grateful for that first and foremost. So the timing is always just on God's timing. When it comes to just being an alumni now, being a Bison, and just Howard in general, it changed my life. I feel like it was essential to my character development. Just like in any great movie, you know, that protagonist had to go through something or even be molded by some sort of like structure, spirit, family, village, etc., that kind of like wounds them and helps them become who they need to be. And Howard definitely did that for me. Like, provided every single resource, just put me in position to win, being around some of the people that I needed to be around, to elevate, to grow. Being in DC, the culture, just everything. It was just a win-win across the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they say the real HU, man. And, you know, I know
one and only.
It's supposed to be a Hamptons homecoming. I got a few friends that went down the road as well. What makes that the real HU, man? Tell us, I ain't trying to get you to get too deep, but what distinctively is about it? I've been in them yards, I've been down there and got a chance to experience you, even getting a chance to perform. And just what does this weekend feel like for somebody that's not able to get a chance to be here and experience it? Because, you know, we're going to talk about it.
Well, the first and foremost, Hampton is an institution, so that's HI, Howard's actual university. So that's the the biggest actual factual thing about why we're the real HU.
Okay.
That's number one, and I had to get that out there. Like, that's something you can just Google. It's stamped. It's not something to debate.
Facts.
So outside of that, I feel like everything else is just cherry on top of, like, we continue to prove why we're the real. Can the real please stand up? And then you see how many people that are in media, in politics, in medical field. We put the most black people in their fields, for real. You know, if we look at at the highest level when it comes to utilizing your gifts, we got Chadwick, Felicia Rashad, Debbie Allen, Anthony Anderson, Taraji P. Henson.
The list goes on.
Yeah. Shout out Lance Gross.
Shout out Lance Gross. You got an opportunity to experience that. I'll get back into that later on. I want to talk about some of the alumni and some of the things that you did. So I'll get back into that story a little bit. But you performed on the yard. I've seen you out there with merch. I got a chance to be out there last year. People seen me out there with you guys. And I was like, the Meccamade boys is out here. What does, you know, that experience feels like? Being able to perform on the yard. I think only a few artists get a chance to do something like that. What was that like for you?
It felt, to be honest, it felt like reassurance. Um, Growing up in Delaware, pursuing music, it seemed like a pipe dream, right? And then coming to DC, and then now throwing yourself in the fire of a city outside of your own, that everyone knows you for something, and you coming out there and just leading with your gifts and who you are. And if they fuck with me for who I am, you know what I mean? Excuse my language. Just and just finding those people, because if you get stamped there, you can get stamped anywhere. A lot of the greats perform there, and I feel like it's something of almost like a badge of honor. You gotta earn that. You go get that. Okay, now what's next? Now what's next? So I did it twice, and while I was still there, and then the last one graduated that semester. So and then people can see the growth, and that also even just shows in my journey of like, this is documented. This is not some overnight. You can really actually go back and study the past decade of my career, and that was definitely the catalyst.
Speaking of growth, so you got some of the merch on. Speaking of Meccamade, I want to get into that. I had a few artists on that you're familiar with. Wavier Flair, I actually had as well, and it's my man Rich Flea, nephew, and we got an opportunity to bring those guys on. I wanted to talk about what the Meccamade family means to you, and you've made that transition into doing more now. I didn't mention that. Studio owner as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us about the Meccamade world and how you transform that from your experience at Howard, which you just talked about, to Meccamade Entertainment.
That was heavy. That's a lot, because where do I start? Ultimately, I got everything from Howard University. When it came to my first mentality, and I'm gonna bring this all the way back to Meccamade and Rich and Wade, that was my first introduction to me looking at the talented black people in general from all sorts of the world operating at a high level. And I looked at it as like going to the NBA. We're getting drafted, right? So it's like everybody in the NBA nice.
Yes.
So let's get that clear. Even if they're bums on TV, you're watching them, but they were the best somewhere else at some point. So it's like continuing. You could be the top dog in high school. Then you come here and it's like, oh, snap. Now operating here is like but so many people can be franchise players. And but that iron sharpens iron, because we both, we want to get re-signed. You don't want to be a free agent. How we operating, how we working, and sink or swim. So I felt like ultimately that's what I wanted to do in music and film at a high level, on the highest levels. After leaving for there, and I knew who my audience was, because I grew up on the arts, watching films, learning lessons,
Yes.
reading, listening to hip hop, getting your hustler, entrepreneur spirit from listening to Jeezy and T.I., 50 Cent, etc., and then see them transcend the Pharrell Williams. So that was ultimately the vision when I started Meccamade, of like wanting a media empire, entertainment across the boards. And shout out my co-founder Vondell, who at the time came up with the name, because she had it just as a segment of like other people at the school that are doing great things. And it's like, oh snap, made in the Mecca. Okay, getting made here, stamp. So then fast forward, it was just my company, and then my little brother started doing music. Then find out my little cousin started doing music, and just seeing at a rapid pace how they're picking up on it. So I'm like,
I want to catch you on that note. Now that you mentioned your little brother, and I hate to interrupt you because I got so many things I want to ask you, and I know that was a heavy question. Because I laugh about this sometimes. People always, man, both your sons do music. How your son doing? I'm like, both of them do music. So I'm glad that I wanted to bring both of you on. And I remember that to this day when I first, seen your brother make that transition. What's your analysis of seeing that? Because I remember I used to be like, man, you gonna let your brother on some of these songs? He's like, no. So going from that, because I know you're a perfectionist sometimes, how did that transition, how was it like seeing that transition from your brother to not wanting to work with him to being on tracks and talking about maybe a potential collab album? How did that transition, like seeing that development?
Well, first it felt rewarding to see like his growth. That's number one. Number two, it wasn't that I didn't want to do a song with him. It's about that it wasn't the right time, or it has to be worth it for both of us. It's just like I don't want him to just be able to do song because he's my brother. You got to be good. We got to be talking about something. You got to develop your own sound. I got to see that you're serious because it's not about being a perfectionist. I'm a professional. So it's in any field. It's just like it doesn't matter if it was Kobe's little brother. He don't automatically get to be on the Lakers.
Absolutely.
so and that's ultimately how I always saw myself. Is like I've been putting in my 10,000 hours in general. It's the same thing. It's like sports, where if we about to go hoop and you're betting on a hoop game and you picking your starting five, you may not pick me, and I gotta respect that. It's like, yo, I'm trying to win this game. So it's like everything I'm doing as well. I need to be. I'm operating on a higher playing field with my brand, how I move, and etc. So it has to be that entry point of like, oh no, you gotta work your way into it. And I think he always respected that since the very beginning, to know like, yo, I gotta get good. I gotta show him not playing around. He was doing it multiple years. Like, okay, I see. You gotta start listening. You gotta start being a sponge. Me trying to guide him, and he's growing more, listening more, and I'm like, okay, now we can be here.
Okay. Well, I know that's important to your family. You know, you got a lot of people around you in Meccamade, like you said, nephew, Rich Flea, Wavy Air doing this thing. Great album he just dropped. Same thing, Rich Flea, Pretty Girls Love Rich Flea. How does it feel about working with some of the other vets, such as shout out to Sean Rose, my man Coogee Young, Leak the producer. How does it feel working with some of the vets? And I know you also have some newcomers coming in. I hate to call them rooks because they look like they've been doing their thing. You got Ev. I think I've seen some of her, content. Tell us a little bit about some of the things Meccamade's got going on and that you feel proud of coming into the new year.
All right, well, coming in as we close out 2025, I'm excited to say that we've worked with over 30 professional artists across songwriters, producers, and recording artists. So whether it's vocalists, R&B artists, hip hop artists, I'm consistently 30 for 30 at this point. Of like, as an A&R, as a company that's focused on artist development and artist repertoire, of when it comes to like building catalogs, building a brand, building talent, I would say like we have that eye and that ear. So outside of just family, and then now building a culture because it's missing of like the music industry is in shambles right now. Record labels laying everybody off. Artists are broke. The culture is non-existent right now. Of even like the entry point as well, when it comes to anybody can just make it now with a viral sound, 15 seconds. But we don't remember them by next week. The staying power is gone. So it's like just restructuring that. So that's what Meccamade ultimately is. I'm rebuilding the whole ecosystem of like what it looks like. And then on an indie level, it's like developing indie superstars.
Okay.
And then when it comes to like what's next and where we're at right now, developing a pillar in our company called Meccamade University, and being a part of that universe's totality, from fans to artists, and independent artists can come to Meccamade University and get online coaching, in-person coaching, outside of just recording music. More resources to make money, whether it's sync licensing opportunities, performing opportunities, collaborations, helping producers sell their beats. It's
sounds like a priceless move if you're really trying to get in the industry and learn more about it. And what made you decide to make that transition for other artists? Because you seem like you got your heart in it, and when you're doing your own thing as an artist, what made you to kind of make that transition for yourself? Was it just being around the game a long time, or just having a desire to do something different?
I think it was a calling. I think it was God, because it just happened naturally. Where over time, even when I was in LA, that's when I was writing the most songs, and then people kept telling me I should be a songwriter. And I started just writing more songs, and even attempting to write songs for other artists, like Meg Thee Stallion at one point, and that song went viral. Continuing to write songs in the voice of like a Big Sean and Drake, Kendrick, etc., etc. Developing my gifts more with my pen, so then make it with ease of naturally start writing songs for the 30 artists I'm working with, other artists, and I'm like, oh snap, collaborating. I'm like, oh, this is my gift, and then serving and following purpose more than chasing the light, and that's where I think it stemmed from, of a transition as I'm getting wiser and even more savvy with my talents, of like being inevitable. So it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm trying to hurry up and be in front of the camera. I need everybody to see me. Woody whoop. It's like, nah, I'm just focused on the work.
Yeah.
And then that's like where I'm at right now. I've sharpened this gift. I'm able to monetize this gift as well, because that's ultimately the goal. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even about necessarily being famous or making X amount. It's about being able to provide for myself, my future wife, my family, just in off my gifts. And what does that look like? So, and that's what it transitioned to ultimately.
You sound like you're in love with the process. A lot of people don't like the process. I've seen LeBron and a few other great people talk about it. And just like saying, you sound like that's what part of that is. People have to know the process to get there before they get the full cake. You can't just put it in the microwave. It's not that easy. Got to bake it and make sure it's right. So I understand what you're saying. And you talked about this a little earlier about meeting some important people. And I want to make this transition into this next topic. Black ambition is something that, you know, I heard you talk about a lot over the past year. I don't know how heavy you want to get into it and tell us all the things that you got going on, but I got a chance to experience a super proud moment with you in going through New York last year. Tell us about the Black Ambition movement, the company, and what does that mean to you working with someone like a Pharrell Williams and other, you know, big founders and other big dreamers, Black dreamers as well.
Well, where do I start? Well, first, what it is ultimately is Pharrell Williams nonprofit company where he invests in Black and brown founders across health, food, product services, and entertainment and tech. So I got introduced to them through being a part of the accelerator with Act House boot camp. So that introduced me to the tech world itself and just thinking outside of the box when it comes to the industry.
Okay.
And then stumbling upon again, shout out Vondell, co-founder. She sent me Black Ambition. Said, hey, I want you to apply for this. Boom. So all right, looking into it. And they select like maybe 100 people out of like 3,000. Then once we got in, I'm like, oh, I made it. Boom. And now they're throwing us through the fire of building a business. Versus before I was just chasing a dream. And I was like, I was doing it all backwards, going off emotions, like we said, building family, this and that, and not necessarily understanding business and operating as such as a CEO. So they put me in the fire through that accelerator program. It was 8 weeks. And with that, I made it to the top 10 out of those hundreds applicants and won $25,000. And that experience was just like the graduate school from Howard. To be honest, I'm like, now I'm in business school in the course of 8 weeks. And being around others is doing it, studying those others, learning how to pitch.
Yes.
Getting more confident when it comes to things and like and understanding, and they gave us more mentorship and opportunities. Just putting us in a room. That's all we ever needed sometimes. So it was like a lot of us just lack the knowledge, and then we lack how to apply it. And they give us the tools, put us in position to win. And since then, really, I've just been on a whole different level of even like when I walk in a room knowing I'm supposed to be here versus before, like questioning and doubt. They gave us confidence, mental health sessions.
Yes.
It was amazing. It was an amazing experience.
Got a chance to meet Ms. Hatcher when I was in the DC CBC. Got a chance to bump into a lot of good people, and I bumped into her, so I always give a shout out to her as well.
Big CEO.
And, yes. As far as Pharrell, I know you got a chance to have some meetings with him. If it was something that he dropped on you, dropped the gem on you, and some knowledge he gave to you, one word or quote, or maybe a statement, what stood out to you and made you feel like, man, that was some real, I got to take that and
trust me, I wrote everything down. But my number one thing was he said, operate in the negative space and be undeniable. If you do
operate
those two,
in the negative space and be undeniable. What do you think he meant by that?
So what I take from that ultimately is you do those two things, right? So operating in that negative space is where no one else is. So it's like if everyone's over here, more specifically operating over here.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, even though it's different, people might not know what they need or want yet, but then if this is undeniable, meaning like you make sure you perfected that product in how you're serving your people, even if it's, let's say, music.
Yes.
Make sure I'm gonna make this different style of music, but it's gonna be when you hear it, you're gonna be like, nah, I love it. So even if it's one person at a time, they're gonna tell 2 people. 2 people gonna tell 4. 4 gonna tell 8. Boom, 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 boom. you do those two things, you can't lose. People be like, I'm doing something different, but it ain't that great. So it is what it is. And some people doing what's over here, and it could be mediocre, but it's like, all right, it's the mid version of what's going on, so they can have a little mild success.
Yeah.
But if we trying to up the percentage from the shooting, how you shooting?
Well,
Yeah.
you're shooting some good shots. Sound like you out there shooting very good shots,
Yeah,
man. All right, so I started, you know, and I gave everybody a lot from where you are now and what you're doing, and something you have a lot going on, and it's a process. We talked about what made you even want to get started doing this, and what made you get interested in music. And I'm going to make another try, ask you some faves in a minute, but what made you start having a love for this music? Rather than maybe sports, or a lot of guys jump into that early, because you may have had a love for sports. Let the people know what made you have that desire early, and what clicked for you to just take off and say, this is what I want to do.
I think the first thing has to tie in with just wanting to find your thing. So that's the first thing, because I tried everything. I did basketball, I did football, I did soccer, I did swimming. I was in everything. Baseball, I literally was doing everything. And like, and until I found what my thing was. So it's like, that's part of it. And then when you think your thing might be basketball, and you keep getting cut, and it's like, all right, maybe it's not my thing. Simultaneously, in that era when I'm just trying things, acting, this and that, love for movies, it was you. For number two, where it's just like, oh, like I've seen you doing it, and you made it show me it was possible, number one, and then to give me that confidence to experiment with that, of like, okay, and then seeing you being able to do it, and like, oh, and then introducing that to you when you found out that I did that, and you brought me to my first studio session. I fell in love with that first studio session. I was like, okay, I was able to create something from scratch with my thoughts, my words, put it to a beat, melody, flow, the cadence, and the tone of my voice.
You done a damn good job. You took the baton and kept running with it. I heard him call him, that's man. Oh man, he doing his thing. He did this and that, and I'm like, yeah, man. So I appreciate that, and you know, I may have thought like, you know, because I have had a small run where I did some things, but I have never taken it to the heights where you guys have taken it to. So it makes me proud. People think, oh, maybe you're trying to live through. I never pushed that and say, this is what I want you to do. You kind of took it upon yourself and had a thing for it. And I love what you guys are doing. When are we going to get a chance to see you guys at your next show? I know about Day Ones.
Next summer. I haven't announced that nowhere, but next summer we're already putting
together.
Oh,
exclusive.
The exclusive, the Day Ones live.
Exclusive, okay.
It'll be the third one.
Y'all got to go to them Day Ones, man. Y'all seen pictures, you seen a lot, but you got to be there, man. Day Ones. You heard it here, exclusives next summer. So as Wade said, see you next summer.
See. Come on, man. Easter eggs everywhere. The Meccamade way. You gotta be paying attention. You locked in.
It's the only way.
It's the only way.
Yeah.
That's my favorite if Meccamade made it.
Yes, indeed, man. So, I want to talk about, speaking of that, when you've been, like you said, doing this music thing for a while, what's some of your favorite moments as an artist? You know, if you had to pick your top 3 favorite moments as an artist and say, man, whether it's performing, meeting this person, an experience, or just whatever it may be, share with us and share with the people what's your top 3 moments as an artist being involved with the music industry, the entertainment industry.
That's a great question. I would say one of my favorite moments was finishing and completing my album What a Week. That was one of the biggest moments for sure. Then I would say next is performing at Howard Homecoming that same year, 2017. 2017.
Okay.
And the third one, because it's so many moments.
Yeah.
It's so many moments, but just because it's so recent,
yeah.
The third one will be performing in Tampa this past summer.
Wow, I got a chance.
Because
I didn't get a chance to be there for that one, but
yeah, it was my first official gig since 2017.
What's so special about that Tampa moment? I didn't get a chance to really.
Well, so getting paid, it was my first.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
cash.
my biggest. I got paid cash. I got flown out. I got put up in a hotel.
Thanks.
yeah, so it was just like that was my biggest moment as a professional artist.
Proud moment.
Not songwriting, like sync placements. I got money there, but now like y'all want me to come and perform, and y'all
awesome.
getting treated me like an A-lister, where it's like, okay.
Shout out to Tampa.
Shout out Future of Black Music.
Okay.
What Works agency. So they reached out, took care of me, and is being a part of that. Getting interviewed. It was sponsored by Smirnoff.
Yes, indeed.
So it was just a big moment of, again, reassurance of like being in this almost, a decade, and being able to like operating this difference where it's like, I've been working on music since I was 14. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's different between like, I've been playing with it, I'm taking this, but actually releasing it, selling it, making merchandise, and still here.
Wow.
It's crazy to me. So then doing that, and then it took me this long to get this type of treatment from a brand, and it's like, okay, you're here now. This is the standard now. This is what it looks like. So it's like, it's different where all those days where you did those free shows and open mics and etc. It's paid off.
Pay the man the bag, man. He'll be out there.
Yeah.
We're going to make it happen. Continue to doing great things. I'm proud of you for checking off that list, and you want to have continued success. I'm sure like whatever you do, because you got the right plan and right, mindset. I'm going to take a couple of, speaking of mindset, I got a couple of other faves I want to ask you,
Yeah.
All right. You seem to be a big movie buff, because I call you sometimes, man. Like, man, I call him my Siskel and Ebert. For those who don't know, as a movie critic, I basically may call him like, yeah, man. So, what are your 3 favorite movies? It could be any genre, any, decade. I know, I don't want to take nobody black card, but you can do your top 3 movies and tell me a little bit about why within that. Don't give me, a big, give me the short version, what they call it.
Even though I'm giving you this 3, I have so many. Yeah. And so I hate this question, but I'm gonna just do it. Split up it's so hard. So I'm
let the people know what you're watching when you got your
ahead with Rocky, right?
Yes.
I try to say the whole franchise, but I'll just go with Rocky. Rocky 1, right?
Yeah.
First one.
Smart guy.
Cool. American Gangster, Denzel.
Okay.
And then 3rd, I'll just go with 7. It's a Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. So all 3 had to try to space all my different genres out. 1, Rocky is one of just my favorite, that underdog story. The writing, and then the story behind the script where it's like Sylvester Stallone betting on himself.
Yes.
So it's like,
amazing
I love
story,
it. I need it. So it's like, Sly's a slept on goat, where it's like he's not talked about enough.
Yes.
When it comes to like, that's
he bet on himself.
Business.
Ain't nobody want to give him his.
So that's what I'm always going to go with. I'm always going to go with that. Same thing, American Gangster, very similar story. I'm betting on myself, I'm cutting out the middleman, and we locking in. Where it's like that Frank Lucas story, that empire, the taking things from the mob to be able to create an organized family. It's like, dang, that's what it's, like y'all missing the big picture, even when it does come with, not condoning drugs or anything like that, but that infrastructure of like, cousin owns this tire shop, we're doing this, building that up.
Black
excellence. Expanding on that and like just getting it done. Going straight out there, hopping on a plane, this is how we doing. We operating business. We want the best price. This is Blue Magic right here. Risk. The branding. It's just he's taking risk. Yeah. Yes. Okay. It's like, I love that.
And last but not least, 7.
I said 7. So it's a dark, gritty thriller, and I really like dark movies. And then David Fincher, he's one of my favorite directors.
Okay.
So he did like Gone Girl, and 7, Social Network, and ultimately just the evilness in this world, a reminder sometimes.
Yeah.
The 7 Deadly Sins, and then even just all the things that Brad Pitt's character was going through with the rage and different things, and how he was seeing that life and being ignorant and naive a lot of times, underestimating his opponent, not listening to Morgan Freeman as a wise councilman in your life.
I think I've seen it, but I'm going to go back and check it out.
Watch it again.
Thanks for the throwback recommendation.
Yeah.
That does sound like a tough one. So, speaking of movies, and I've been watching your life is like a movie sometimes, man. I ain't going to get a chance to go through who all you met, and I come back into that moment because I thought maybe you had some moments in your, like when you would have said this, but you said you got so many. So, if you had to pick one actor to play Steve's the Gifted in a biopic, who would you like that person to be, and what do you like about him and that makes him be the person that would be excellent, Steve, to give?
Dang, and I can't play myself.
You can't play yourself, man.
Okay, can't play myself because I like the 50 Cent Eminem route, playing themselves and their little
That
stories.
would be dope. That would be dope.
If I had to,
unlike yourself, if you do it like that, but see, Lil Kim wanted to play herself too. They said, nah. That's why she don't like that movie.
In the midst of the scenario, all right, because that's what I'll do. I'll be like, especially I'm betting on myself. Oh, like, but I really am a fan of Damson Idris, Franklin. What did I say? Franklin Saint. As a backup, and I don't even want to say backup. I'll say alternative, not a backup.
Okay, in case he don't pick up Franklin Jam,
Yeah, you know what I mean. I would let my brother play me. So it's like,
you got a little bit of acting skills. Too,
yeah,
man.
No, he would have to go through classes. Nah, we gotta go through classes. I told you, we're not playing around. You gotta audition too. It's not just like Ice Cube's son. Like you gotta lock in.
Yeah,
I gotta see
it.
it.
That was crazy.
Yeah. So you gotta lock in.
Work.
Yeah.
Well, you on the Sports Page show, and we talked
page.
about earlier why the Sports Page show is a big thing to me. We'll talk about that another time.
That's a crazy story.
Crazy story. That was my nickname in high school, probably before that, middle school, and we had a long discussion about it. It was a nickname they gave me because I used to take the Sports Page, probably in 4th grade, 5th grade.
I'm mad as hell.
Reading
I got a magazine. And
people got their
school,
sports. Yeah, exactly.
You got my sports page.
Y'all don't read newspapers anymore. The newspapers was big back in the day. Everybody wanted a newspaper in the sports section, the business section. Probably lifestyle was the biggest section. And you might get to your door in the morning like, damn, I ain't got no sports page.
That's crazy.
And I took it, man. So sorry for everybody. I took them sports pages back in the day.
Sports page. I love that.
So you're on the Sports Page show, and we're going to talk a little bit about your favorite teams, man.
Okay.
I actually know who these teams are. We're going to talk about your 2 squads. Why are your 2 favorite teams? I know in football and basketball, preferably the ones we're talking about. And how did you select those 2 teams? Because you're not an Eagles fan.
No.
I don't know. That's crazy.
He
missed out on the parade, everybody.
I'm not just going to get on the bandwagon just because they get a parade. That don't faze me.
Cheers. Shout
out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. But me, I'm with the Dirty Birds. You know what I'm saying? Falcons. And that is solely because of Michael Vick sold me on that. You know, so no, that didn't happen. But y'all saw it. You know what I mean?
We saw
the talent. And you wanted that. Yeah. So ultimately, as a kid, just looking up to Mike Vick when I wanted to play football in that era, is just the way he operated, the smoothness. As looking up to a black man leader as a quarterback, it's like, dang, like Atlanta, I always heard it was a black city, but you know what I mean, before that, take all that away. And that was my favorite colors as well, the combination with red, black, and white. So the colors, the vibe.
I remember that.
Yeah, so just like embodying
first album go?
Yes. Yeah, first semester.
First semester.
So
just change that from your screensaver. That's crazy.
That's for real?
Just change it.
That's crazy. I forgot about that when we even finishing that project. That's crazy too.
So Mike Vick, I'm sorry. And he's Norfolk State. Shout out to Norfolk State. I'm sorry.
Norfolk.
Yes. It's their homecoming this weekend too. So I went there for a few hours.
And then on the flip side, when it came to basketball, just AI. Again, sold me on Philly.
The answer.
And granted, my pop side of the family from Philly, so it's like that was regular. We so close. And then just being that grit. I do love, Philly the city. In general, of course, everybody from Philly, brotherly love.
What y'all gonna do this year? Season just started.
I'm not gonna speak on that. I'm excited. We're gonna do what we're gonna do.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. That's what I trust the process every year, and it's a marathon. So that's why every time people ask me, I don't really speak on it. I'm like, we're gonna see. We're gonna go to work. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to work, and what happens at work, we'll see the results.
So for your Meccamade squad, remember back in the day, you used to have the Rucker, Fat Joe, and everybody used to bring their squad. They used to bring everybody. So you had to pick your 5 for your Meccamade 5 from Ballers. What 5 you taking? I know you got AI in there because you already said that's your guy. So who you gonna take with AI? Who's your 4 that you gonna go to the Rucker Park or anywhere around the world and say we got next?
AI. Kobe, LeBron,
Okay.
and T-Mac.
So you need one more person. It's only 4 people.
I thought you just said name me 4. I thought you was
No,
like
I was
me.
saying
Okay.
4 besides.
Okay, remember?
AI.
Oh, you said besides AI. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Yeah, then all right. So yeah,
AI,
AI, Kobe,
LeBron, T-Mac.
T-Mac, and then I'm missing somebody else. Who was I about to say?
Thinking of?
I don't. Who was I thinking of? Oh, Embiid. Yeah.
Over the Shaq?
Yeah, just cause I gotta have Embiid.
Okay.
I thought of Shaq is like, all right, I got cool. I'm cool. We gotta be. It's 2025 too, so like that hooping right there, we're cooking.
Last night said he's done. I was like, wow.
All right, healthy Embiid. Healthy Embiid. Let's be clear. Everybody I name, I'm talking about they
in their best,
on their best day. AI.
You're young, so I'm gonna let you slide. You pass on King, Elijah, Shaq, but we'll talk about that. That's his 5, and I gotta respect it. And that's a great 5. You know, they can go out there and hoop anywhere. Shout out to Philly, the Sixers. I don't want y'all mad at me when I come home, but it's all good.
T-Mac gonna cook.
T-Mac is going to cook. So we talked about your favorite sports, and I know that you basically are a big Atlanta Falcons fan. So when you're in Atlanta, what are some of the things that you like to do when you're not, you know, in the stew, as they say, or you're actually writing or anything? What do you do on your downtime, or books you want to recommend, or getting it? Like you said, you mentioned a few old school movies, but what do you do in your spare time?
And that's great because it's not a lot, but when we do get it, I do like skating. I love going to the movies. I love walking on the Beltline. So like just walking through the city of Atlanta and absorbing it sometimes. So like reading, of course, but then still sticking to the city. Going just to different restaurants. I feel like it has a great landscape of different restaurants. And
you got a spot that we need to hear, that people need to know about, that you want to drop one on?
Dang, if I do that and they're going to start jogging our swag, that's what me and my lady go to. But I'm going to drop some, you know what, I'm going to drop some game for y'all. It's a sushi spot called Fudo. Fire.
I'm not a big sushi guy, but what's there that you like about it besides the sushi? Is it just sushi bar only?
Oh no, they got everything. So like bang bang shrimp, you know, different types of seafood. So, but mainly, yeah, especially definitely sushis. Outside of that though, I'll say 2 Urban Licks is fire off the Beltline. I'll say it's another seafood spot called CNS. I love CNS. So like oyster is fire. Like the char grilled drinks and salmon, just everything on the menu fire. I feel like I'm missing something. I do like going to the gun range.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find more. So
one thing I didn't get a chance to ask you, I'm gonna go back because I was thinking about the phase, and I can't go by not asking a music artist his favorite albums. I want 3 of your favorite albums in any genre. 3 favorite albums, you know, any genre.
Okay, so any genre.
Yep, and I got one more after that. I'm going to ask you after that. But let me get your 3 favorite albums.
Dang, this is crazy. Get Rich or Die Trying. 50 Cent. Beyonce self-titled album.
What cover is that? Because I know her by
it's a black cover and just says Beyonce in the center.
Okay, cool.
Damn, man, it's not even cool. It's not even cool. I said Get Rich or Die Trying. I said Beyonce. It's not even cool. Then I'm going to just go... Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Have you seen any of those in concert? Out of them 3 favorite albums, either one?
None of them.
What's the biggest artist you saw live?
Kendrick Lamar and Drake. So I saw both of the 2 biggest rappers.
What did you think about that beef? Because I knew that you actually did a song one time, and you kind of had a little something to say to J. Cole.
And speaking of that, you know what? I'm gonna take out Miseducation Lauryn Hill. I'm gonna just put G and X. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I gotta add one that's right. G and X, and I'll listen to
take those 3 albums. You can go on the island and you'll be good.
Yes, I'm good. G and X, Get Rich or Die Trying, Beyonce. I got the balance. I'm cool.
Okay,
that's it. I'm straight.
And I know it's been a while now. What did you think about that?
The beef.
Yes. Was it good for hip hop? Was it great? Was it bad?
In my personal opinion, I thought it was amazing. I'm glad I got to witness it. I'm glad that lyricism at the end of the day stood on top when it came to an artist that built his whole career off of uh, staying true, authenticity, and storytelling, and just penmanship on a high level, performance skills. He's just an elite MC. The Super Bowl, I love everything that came after the beef, the tour, and then just again business operating at a high level. The execution was flawless. The way they're releasing music back and forth, I'm looking at the bigger picture on top of that of what was said on wax. Because I mean, those are their choices, their words, and I was a spectator at the end of the day and a student. So I love the music that came from it. Forced people to rap. There's a lot of music I love from Drake. I love a lot of things that Drake's done in hip hop. But Kendrick is just more of where I'm at mentally, spiritually, and sonically.
Speaking of Kendrick, he performed at the Super Bowl last year. People were in a little uproar. Some people liked it. Some people did. I thought he did phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. Sorry for those who didn't. Now, Big Bad Bunny, excuse me. He's a new artist. I'm not familiar with his music. What do you think about that selection for this upcoming Super Bowl?
I think that's amazing. Because again, it's like they're expanding out of just the English market, right? So people that speak English. Because Puerto Rico is still part of the United States. So I think it just gives another layer of like what the United States is, and something new.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something new, and if they don't like it, they can change the channel. Because I'm not familiar with all his records, but I would like to be exposed to him. I would like to see what he do, and how crazy it is. And I think that's gonna even, as a business, bring the NFL bigger than what it is. And I think that's the move there. I think that's the play. Is they're trying to expand. So it is what it is. I want to see new stuff.
We're here in the DMV, and here for the weekend. We talked about it.
Yeah.
You went to school here.
Yeah.
You love the food, the culture. And I always think about this when I'm like having debates. Why DC ain't got the artist or this person like other states? You know, you even shot a video here, and I was actually amazed at some of the content, the visuals. People got to go back and check out his discography on YouTube. Steve's the Gifted. What are your top 3 DMV artists?
Well, Wale is definitely number 1. Mambo Sauce be number 2. And dang. Alright, yeah. Nah, Nucci number 3.
Nucci?
Yeah.
Shout out to Front Porch Nucci.
Shout out Front Porch.
Mambo
And I just even
Sauce.
pushed them up higher on the ranking.
My man Black?
Yeah. Black. Mambo Sauce, I listen to their CD every day.
Yes.
Like,
Got a new
yeah,
song.
yeah.
Shout out to him and his wife. They're doing amazing things. I'll probably have more later this season, and he's a good friend of mine. So shout out to Mumbo. They're doing amazing things over there at the Front Porch. Nucci, my man Don Chu. So DMV, there's some great choices.
Yeah.
So you're here for the weekend, and what are some things that you want to accomplish before you leave this Howard homecoming weekend? Far as came, saw, and conquered. What are some of the things that you want to experience while you're here? Shout out to Meccamade.
To be honest, I don't even have a lot of time to experience much on here. I'm working most of the time, so
Yeah.
I just want to have a good time while I'm working, and just to be another milestone of like spending my second homecoming with my fiance. Because last year she was my girlfriend, now it's fiance.
Congratulations.
So thank you again. So
Okay.
it's
Shout out Ash.
I think that's what I want the most, is just us to have more experiences together as a couple and grow as a partner. So I think that's even just one of the biggest moments as well, just in life right now.
You almost answered my next question. I'm like, the next 5 years, what do you want to accomplish? Life, music, and just business-wise. What are the 3 things those are 3 things, or if you want to combine them all, do you have like a 3-year, 5-year plan of where you want to see yourself in Meccamade? Or just yourself in general? Because Meccamade is a lot of people involved, so just yourself.
I have my plan. and I'm trying
You got your vision board?
100%. Like we do 100%.
Yes.
And it's funny, my vision boards always come to fruition. It's crazy.
Awesome.
I was going back and I went back to like 3 vision boards ago, and just saying it may not happen in that year, but it happens over the course of time. I'm staying on the same track. For me, 100% is to be that connector for Meccamade, to be that connector to create more professional artists that are able to make $100,000 a year, and then scale that. So that's my goal right now. Is that first 1,000 artists that I can change lives for.
Okay.
Then starting off the first 100, then 1,000, and go from there. That's as a company. That's where we want to grow at, and just take our time. And then along with that is just be established in my solo career.
When you say established, what is established?
An established artist, I believe that you can do 20 cities, but established, even if you can do 5 cities, if you can be doing your own region, you're established. And that, like for me, of getting to a point where I'm generating $500,000 as an independent artist.
Okay.
And what that looks like on top of my name being established in a region where I'm able to do movies and just offer that to my director fans. Similar to also what, like, I see that next 5 years of what Tyler the Creator has created for himself. Shout out to Tyler. What I meant Tyler Perry has created in the film industry. Do that in media. So that's where I want to be at when it comes to music and tech, and being that for the next generation, providing opportunities for students at Howard University, high school students, being in pipeline for Delaware and the DMV and Atlanta, and just building more hubs. And to answer your question as well, is my goal would love to be breaking a DC artist and helping them have staying power, be an established artist. And what's missing is that infrastructure, which Meccamade will be able to provide in a new ecosystem. That's always why it's been like, whether it's Detroit, Atlanta, New York, LA, it's because things have boomed because of the infrastructure that was set up in those cities.
Yes.
Nashville, it exists there. It doesn't exist in certain places. You know what I mean? So that wasn't the DC's culture.
Yeah.
We got go-go, you got politics. You know, so it just wasn't built for that. Because ultimately it comes with the resources and the knowledge. So there's not a lot of knowledge. A lot of people are great examples. That's why I love what Nucci's doing. What he's showing artists how to do it. You know what I mean? Hopefully it just continues.
Hopefully we can get these guys on the front porch, because Meccamade would tear it down.
No, that would be crazy.
That would be crazy. We got to make it happen. Speak that into fruition.
Yes.
So that would
we'll
be
do a front porch within the next 5 years. 100%.
Yes. And we're, like I said, in the DC, the government's being shut down. And we don't bring this to an end because you've been a tremendous guest. But this is how I want to round off, and I ask a few people this question. But there's a lot going on with the government, and there's a lot going on with the youth sometimes here. What kind of message would you give? You know, what's your departing message to the young black men or any other culture that needs some influence? That are young, like you said, you have to go back to your 18-year-old self or somebody in that space that's trying to figure it out. What's your message to these young men that's going on right here or right now that they need to take heed to, or how do you handle what's going on in 2025? What's your perspective coming from somebody your age? You're 30. What's the demographic they call y'all? Not Gen X. What's that?
I'm a millennial.
Millennial. So from your perspective, how do you handle what's going on? And for the next generation after you, what's your advice to them?
It's not just one thing. So one, I would definitely say, lean on your village and be a part of your village. So add value. So whether it's at your family, whether it's your friend circles, because there's gonna be your lowest times where you'll need them, and your greatest times when you'll need them. That's what I have, and I've been blessed to have a big family that loves me, friends, and developing that, like, relationships. Because I think we're losing sight of, like, humanity a little bit with technology and being, especially post-pandemic, like being so far removed. So, like, you gotta stay planted, man. You gotta stay focused on what's around you, what truly matters. Don't lose sight of that. And then the way I keep that in line is my relationship with God, just praying more. Leading by example. We need more leaders. So again, telling a younger self of like, focus on how you would want to lead others to heaven on earth. You know what I mean? Of ultimately getting to a space where we can enjoy life. So it's like, I want to bring positivity and not negativity. And then just keep stepping, pun intended. You got to keep stepping. Never, like, don't, even when you have those moments where you got to recalibrate, take those moments, rest, and keep going. Do not stop.
You heard it here first, man. You got to keep stepping, man.
Got to keep stepping.
It's got a great catalog of music, man. You deserve better. What a week. You can go back and check this man catalog, discography, videos. Tell the people where to find you, man. If they need to find any of your content and future stuff you got going on, merch, music, movies. I might even be in there somewhere.
He got audition.
I'm on my password. See how, but nah, I will audition. I call my agent.
Yeah, no, my people's gonna call your people.
Okay.
And but you can find me at Stige the Gifted, Stige like Prestige, STIGE the Gifted. Follow Meccamade at Meccamade, and stay tuned because we're here for a long time.
There you have it, man. Super proud moment for me. Steve the Gifted. Great interview, great conversations. Therapeutic for me, man. Very therapeutic, man. So hope y'all enjoyed. The one and only Steve the Gifted, the sports page. We out, man. Y'all catch the next one. Please subscribe and follow, man. More great shows coming this season. Yes, sir, man. Good show, man. Good show. Yeah.